All right. Hello. Hi. Very good evening. Welcome to Wednesday ELM Live with me. Today is an important day for our country. Today, um, obviously, maths. Sports is important. Huh? Sports has such an important role in uplifting the sentiment of a country. And the more we become positive about things we achieve, the better we become as a country, as one single unit. So I think talking about sports and congratulating everyone in and around us because it's a country first. And if देश चलेगा तो हम लोग सब grow करेंगे ही. That's what it is. So it's an important day for all of us, and what a lovely performance by the team. Virat Kohli is genius. I think he's one. Apart from a couple of more younger people who inspire the entire generations, I think Virat Kohli, Nitin Kamath, and there are many such young people who are so amazing in what they're doing in India, and I get inspired by them, and I wish I keep on getting inspired by them and work harder, like all of us. So what I intend to do today is 30 minutes of interaction where I'm going to take your queries and try to solve as much queries as possible. Typically, these sessions, Wednesday sessions, are meant for question and answers. So you may have queries related to trading, investing. Um, I have little knowledge. I'm not an expert. I have a little knowledge about these subjects, so I can try to answer your queries. I can only try. I can't promise you that my answers will be perfect because there are much more experienced people than me. I just have 18, 19 years of experience, but there are many, many more experienced people than me with more wisdom who can give you better answers, probably. But I can try my luck and try to give you as much answer as possible. All right. So let us start taking few questions. So I want to take questions of people who came early, and I want to take question of our friend Mr. Madhu Prashant. He actually came at 5:32. So sweet of you, Madhu, for coming so early. And his question is that how to find right valuation of a company, how to understand whether management of company is good or not so good. Well, these are two very important questions to be answered, and let us try to do some exercise and try to find out how do you judge the valuation of a company, because ultimately any stock price is a function of two critical component. One is the intrinsic value, and other is a speculative value. So what I intend to do is I'm going to share an Excel sheet, just do a bit of Exceling. Not sure whether I have any format in my mind yet, but while we discuss, maybe I will be able to create a format which may answer this question of how to value a company. So let me do a screen sharing, and I hope you guys are able to see my screen. And I'm going to do the Exceling and try to get an answer. So there are two components of valuing a company. Number one, number two. First is the intrinsic int intrinsic value. Now, what is an intrinsic value? So typically when we look at intrinsic value of a business, we always tend to answer it by a simple presumption that the book value is the intrinsic value, where the answer is actually wrong. Book value cannot be the intrinsic value. I mean, it's always good to know it, that book value is intrinsic value, but mathematically book value cannot be the intrinsic value, because when you look at books of accounts, particularly the balance sheet, so there is an asset and there is a liability. So book value is nothing but asset minus liability, right, which is theoretically at the cost price. So the asset is at a cost price and the liability is at a cost price. So you actually don't take into account the market value of assets, and you don't take into account the contingent liability which may arise in future. So technically, uh, ideally, it should be market value. So MV of book value, the intrinsic value should be MV of assets minus MV of liabilities, right? So this should be typically the value which a company should be given today as an intrinsic value, assuming that the company will be closing down. Okay, so the basic assumption of this valuation is that you believe that company is not a going concern, and if today the company has to close down, the market value of asset minus market value liability should be the price of the stock. Okay, the second component of valuation of a stock is a speculative value. Now, what is the speculation going on? So, when we talk about speculation in a stock or in a business, the speculation is with respect to future. Okay, so future is something which is getting speculated. So, what is the expected future of the company? Now, future. The direct function of future is with the earning, right? And the earning leads to cash flow generation. So future cash flow, this is a very important concept which actually tries to give you a framework that if coming 5 years company is going to generate x future value or future cash flow, if you discount it in today's price, x should be the price you pay for that future value, right? If you look at 5 years, the future value will be different. If you look at 10 years, the future value will be different. If you look at 50 years, the future value will be different. So it totally depends upon how much you would like to project the future of a company. So there are people who project 20, 25 years earnings of a company because they are capable to do that projections. And when they discount 20 years earning as on today, which is the typical discount cash flow method, discount cash flow is nothing but you're basically giving value to that cash flow which will come after 10 years, after 9 years, after 8 years, after 7 years. You want to give the value to that discounted cash flow today, right? And the valuation is done based on the most important aspect of future earning, which is growth and expected cost of capital. So if yeah, my expectation is that I expect 15% return from the business, so my cash flow, future estimated cash flow will be different. If I'm expecting 12% return on investment, then my expected cash flow will be different. So two major variables that actually derives, let me write it down, two variables that decide the future cash flow. Number one is the expected return on business or expected return on equity, because expected return on business and expected return on equity value should ideally be the same after a point of time. It cannot be different. जितना business grow कर रहा है उतना ही ideally stock price भी grow करना चाहिए in a most universal assumption. Expected return and number two growth, ये दो पैरामीटर जो है वो एक मेजर assumptions होते हैं. So that's why every person has unique assumption. Every stock price has either a buyer or a seller. Why there is a buyer? Because the buyer believes that my growth expectation is higher, whereas the seller believes that my growth expectation is lower. So theoretically, if I have to answer your question, Madhu, the right valuation of a company, there is nothing right or wrong when you are valuing a company. It's like valuing a diamond, and all of us can have our own assumptions and presumptions with relation to the valuation of a company. One of the method of valuing a company, apart from the future earning estimate and discounting the earning estimates to today's value, one of the method which is largely followed in valuing a company is a peer group valuation. So if your peer group is valued at X times of earning, and if you are valuing at less than X times of earning, you see that there is an opportunity that if the company are similar, if the company is probably witnessing a similar kind of a business model, then the valuation gap will fill after a point of time, which is a mean reverting thought process that if competitor is here, I'm here, and we are doing pretty much the same thing, then there is no reason the valuation should be differentiated. So your mean reversal will lead to valuation over revaluing the company which is undervalued. This is again one concept which you should understand. The third concept which I want to explain you when you talk about valuation is the concept of PE multiples and PE rating, PE re-rating. Now, what happens? Every sector or every company goes through a round of cycles in business. Okay, and sectors have tailwinds and headwinds. What is tailwind? That a wind is behind the tail, so it is supporting your move, and headwinding is the wind is facing the head. That means it is you are basically riding against the wave. So when a sector has a tailwind and when a company is performing better than its historical average, then obviously the earning growth will be better than the historical earning growth. At the same time, the expectation of the earning growth will also be much higher, which leads to re-rating of the price earning multiples. And I'll explain you this concept. So suppose the stock is trading at a 100 rupee cost price and the price of the stock is 20 rupees. So the price earning multiple, the stock is trading at 100 rupees and the earning per share is around 20. So the P multiple of this company is 5. Okay. And the company probably has remained a lower P multiple company because the growth was not visible. But suddenly this 20% EPS has grown by 20%. Okay, 20 EPS has grown by 20%. So that means the EPS has become 24. Okay, now with the same 5P ratio, the stock price should have been 120, which is 20%, right? But because there is a 20% growth in earning, the P multiple, which is 5 at this moment, will also get re-rated. So probably the 5P multiple can go to 7 or 8. Let's say example, it goes to 8. The stock price actually moves up by almost 92% because earning growth has happened. But at the same time, PE re-rating has also happened. So it's always advisable to find companies where some kind of a sector tailwind is supporting, some kind of a re-rating possibility is there, and these companies will give you much better, much larger possibilities of generating more return than a nominal return generating companies. Case in point is Suzlon. Suzlon was trading at a very low PE multiples, but or Coal India, it was trading at a very low PE multiple, but suddenly because of the tailwind in the sector, these stocks became so cheap that their stock price also went up as the earning went up, but the PE also got re-rated from around 5 6 levels to now 8 9 levels, and possibility they can get re-rated further if the management conduct or the business conducts remains the same. So now the second part of your question, Madhu, is how to understand whether management is good or not. Well, this is one area where you have to have hybrid understanding. One is obviously data. If you see the historical performance of the company, if you hear the management con call, and if you see whether management is giving good guidance, wiser guidance, or management is walking the talk. So you have to look at last 10 years. Last 10 years, what was the conduct, what was the expectation, what happened? Last 9 years, what was the expectation, what happened? Last 8 years, what was the expectation, what happened? So basically, is management walking the talk? If management is walking the talk, or there is a change in management, or if the management is witnessing some kind of a major transition, then obviously you give a different rating to that management. So Madhu, uh, quantitatively you may not define it, but I would say that you can grade a management based on the historical conduct of the management. I hope this answers satisfies you. Now let's go to the other question by Mr. Bhidu Datta. How much capital need to become a full-time trader? Kindly reply to me. Well, Buddhadatta, I want to be very honest with you. So if you want to become a full-time trader, the minimum capital requirement is 10 lakh. Okay, anything below 10 lakh is just for learning purpose, and there is no harm in starting with a small capital. Learn and gradually build your skill set, that you decide to leave your job and other things and finally get into trading in a full-time occupation. Having said that, the minimum capital required to become a multi-asset trader. Now, what is multi-asset trader? Multi-asset trading is basically you're looking at commodities, currency, equity, derivatives, everything. and you try to find out interrelationship between multiple assets, and you try to make money by taking position in one asset vis-a-vis the other asset. So if you want to become a multi-asset trader, then I think you need on an upside of 25 lakhs to become a full-time trader. Otherwise, it is not worth it. I think you should not spend your energy. Yes, you can get into the learning curve, but please do not leave your job to be on the learning curve. You can easily manage your job and market learning together if you are wise enough and if you are sincere enough to manage it. Now let's go to the third question, which someone posted at 5:36 p.m. Mr. Pallav is asking, so could you like to share your short and medium term combination scan to all of us? Certainly, I'll do that. Now let me do a screen sharing, and let's open the stock scan. Combination scan. Mr. Pallav has been using Stockage, and he knows about combination scan. Combination scan is something which we innovated. Basically, the idea of combination scan is, can I combine multiple scans to arrive at a combination which is very very powerful. So from a short term perspective, okay, uh, there is a scan which is basically evaluating stocks based on the relative strength performance, and we have taken multiple parameters like stock within 52-week high zone, stock outperforming benchmark index, close within 2-year high, close within 5-year high, both SRS and ARS above zero, high return on equity, high return on capital employed, and high EBITDA margin, high PAT margin. So these are the stocks where price action is quite evident, supported by good fundamentals. So which are the stocks where short-term movements will continue to come? Bajaj Auto, Kaplan Point, CDSL, Coal India, eClub, Nesco, Sun TV, Phoenix Mill, and Warren Beverage. So these are the perfect match. Well, we all know that there is nothing perfect in our life, right? Even talk about any husband or a wife, they are never perfect, right? So you may have one problem which you need to just parry off. So the almost there category also becomes very important. So you have Adani Power, Ajanta Pharma, Angel One, Bharat Scooter, Chola Mandalam. These are the companies which are still very interesting companies, even though they have only one condition not satisfied out of these. So this is for your short term. If you're looking for a relatively longer term, the more you want longer term, the Mr. Pallab, the more you have to add fundamental parameters. So these are the scan called FIPA scan, 52-week high zone, improve ROE, improve ROCE, quarterly net profit growth, quarterly EBITDA growth, high increase in sales, consistent cash from operations. So these are the stocks which are like long-term bets, and you can obviously bet on these stocks because fundamentally these stocks are giving consistent opportunity to to because of their quarterly performances. All right. Now let me go to some live chats and take some questions from there. I have recently joined Stockage Club membership. Can you please share the link for it? In Stockage app club group is not showing. Okay. So I mean the club. Well, let me clarify that Stockage Club is hosted in an app called Stockage Social. Okay, it is not part of Stockage app. So all you need to do is go to Play Store, Chandan, and download Stockage Social app. Okay, because Stockage Social is our social platform where we have all the people who are part of the club. They are interacting with each other. Let me show you that platform. So there is a separate app for this. So this is a platform called Stockage Social. It is not part of Stockage app yet. It's a separate platform. You can download the app, and I'm sure you can find out ways to download the app. Unfortunately, I don't have the link right now from where you can download the app. But go to the Play Store, and there you will get the link to download the app of Stockage Social. Okay. Mrinal has a question. So, way to see earnings, sales, and margin of a stock. Well, it's very simple. Go to any stock in Stockage, and here you can see on the fundamental side, see the results. So, you see the earnings on a quarterly earning or half yearly earning or annual earning, depending upon what kind of earning you want to see, along with the sales. And have different kind of ratios also available here, like ROCE, ROE, and other kind of efficiency ratio and other kind of ratios which may be relevant for you to look at. So I hope you will be able to get an answer if you go to this section of stockage. Go to any page and you will be able to see. Okay. What is this? Stockage Club के stock loan लेकर investment कर सकते हैं sir? I'm not sure what is the question. I will never recommend anyone to take loan for any purpose. I think loan is a big trap and one should stay away from any kind of loan activity. How was your starting trading days? How you tackle losses and maintain confidence? Well, Devansh, thank you for asking this question. Let me go back to my early days. So I started my career as a commodity analyst. I used to analyze crude oil, gold in JM Financials, Mumbai. I was good in analysis. I was pretty much accurate in my analysis. That's the reason probably I thought rather than doing analysis, I should come to Calcutta and I should start my trading commodities. I traded for a couple of days. I lost around 2.5 lakh rupee. I started with 10 lakh. I did miserably bad because analysis and then trading is two different things, and it takes time to mature from being an analyst to a trader. At times people can't do that because it's a very different ball game. But fortunately, I had believe in myself. I had believe in the model which I had. I believe in the knowledge which I've garnered. And then one good trade actually gave me that super confidence that yes, I am capable of doing it. And then rest is history. So yes, you have to maintain confidence, especially if you are a qualified person. You have added pressure, but at the same time, if you are a qualified person, you have a lot of comfort because you know that kuch nahi to job to kahin lagi jayegi. So you need to have a plan B, a backup plan. If anything goes wrong, I have the backup plan which will take care of me, my family needs, my fooding needs, etc. Otherwise, it's very difficult to sustain the initial tough period of market. ओके स्टॉकेज में एक वीक का फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन अवेलेबल करो वेल आई कैन टेल यू वन थिंग विथ माय एक्सपीरियंस दैट जो फ्री मांगते हैं शेयर बाजार में शेयर बाजार उनको कभी भी पैसा नहीं देता है सो आई वुड सजेस्ट अगर आपको स्टॉकेज आपको रियल पावर देखना है स्टॉकेज का और जब तक आप पैसा नहीं दोगे आप यूज भी नहीं करोगे आपको फ्री दे भी दूंगा तो आप यूज नहीं करोगे दैट्स दी फिलॉसफी विच वी बिलीव इन तो अगर आप ट्राई करना चाहते हो एक महीने के लिए स्टॉकेज लीजिए ज्यादा नहीं है 300 रुपये लगेंगे 300 रुपये का तो आज का कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं है वॉट एवर हमें कहीं भी घर से बाहर निकलोगे 300-500 रुपये खर्चे हो जाते हैं यहाँ तो स्टॉकेज आपको 30 दिन के लिए अवेलेबल है ऑन अ रियल टाइम बेसिस तो आप देख लो अगर आपको अभी भी फ्री चाहिए तो आप फ्री मांग लो बट मेरा सजेशन ये है कि छोटा पैसा लगेगा पैसा डालो बहुत फायदा होगा पैसा लगेगा तभी आप सीरियस रहोगे नहीं तो आप सीरियस नहीं रहोगे ओके Nagesh has a question. I have taken the premium subscription. However, not sure how to select stocks for futures trading using StockEdge. I trade just in futures. Well, you create combinations, Nagesh. Let me show you how you do that. It's a very simple thing, but very effective. There are two things which I want you to look at. Number one, derivative analytics. Because in derivative analytics, you get to see which stock, what kind of position is getting built. And if you go inside every stocks, you can see the historical OI buildup of the stock along with the delivery, and you can actually make some judgment about the stock, whether this stock is looking good or bad at the moment. And if you look at the chart in congruence with the data, then you obviously gain more confidence in building your position. So look at the derivative analytics section of StockEdge. Second, when you go to trending stock, there is something called filter here. And in this filter, you have NSE FNO stocks. So these are the FNO stocks which are trending. And there has to be a reason for them to be trending, for them to be part of the volume shocker, for them to be part of 52-week high-low. So typically, FNO stocks where some kind of an activity is happening, there is a possibility that you will be able to get some opportunity to participate. So look at derivative analytics, look at trending stocks, and probably also look at the combination scans. And my suggestion is that filter down to only FNO stocks, because if you are an FNO trader, your mindset, your way of working is very different, and if you are non-FNO trader, your mindset is very very different. ओके, आप कहाँ से भगवत गीता की टीचर असिस्टेंट ले रहे हैं? वेल, सौरभ जी, धन्यवाद ये प्रश्न पूछने के लिए. I've been blessed that there is a teacher who identified me. मैंने उनको आइडेंटिफाई नहीं किया था, उन्होंने मुझे आइडेंटिफाई किया. एंड ही इज वेरी स्वीट, who decided to introduce me to गीता जी. और मैं अभी उस मोड़ पे अभी तक नहीं पहुंचा हूं कि मैं गीता जी चालू कर सकूं. अभी भी हम वो फ्रेमवर्क ही डिसाइड कर रहे हैं 6 महीने से, और मुझे तैयार कर रहे हैं, वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मैं उस लायक बन जाऊं कि मैं गीता जी का पहला चैप्टर कर पाऊं. इट्स बीन 6 months since he has been investing his time on me, and when I ask him that हम लोग चालू कब कर रहे हैं, तो वो कह रहे हैं कि जब तुम तैयार हो जाओगे. मुझे नहीं लगता अभी तुम तैयार हुए. सो बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो गीता जी को सही तरीके से समझते हैं, सही तरीके से सिखाते हैं. आई डोंट वांट टू नेम अ पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बिकॉज रेलेवेंस ये नहीं है कि पढ़ाता कौन है. रेलेवेंस ये है कि आपके अंदर में वो बात है क्या कि आप एक्चुअल में उससे सीखना चाहते हैं, इंट्रोड्यूस होना चाहते हैं, उससे अपने प्रश्नों का जवाब लेना चाहते हैं. तो सौरभ जी, आप बस what I can say is that, I mean, there are many organizations like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Mission, etc. But आप जिस दिन सोच लोगे आपको क्लास करना है, आपको कोई ना कोई मिल जाएगा जो आपको क्लास कराएगा. बट इट्स सच अ amazing feeling, such an amazing thing that has happened to me. Definitely, I'm still. I feel that there is still a long way to go before I can start learning Gita ji, because at this moment I'm just overwhelmed. मुझे नहीं पता है क्या हो रहा है, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता कई चीजें. I think I'm too late. My humble suggestion to everyone is start early with your kids. Introduce them to Gita ji as early as possible, because I mean it's too late before we start figuring out the answers to some of the relevant questions in our life. All right. Uh, प्रसाद जी पूछ रहे हैं, कैन यू सजेस्ट एनी बेस्ट कॉम्बिनेशन स्कैन्स? वेल प्रसाद जी, कॉम्बिनेशन जितने भी मैं बनाता हूँ, मैं सभी को यूज करता हूँ, चाहे वो ईगल कॉम्बिनेशन है, चाहे टाइगर कॉम्बिनेशन है. एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू कीपिंग इट वेरी वेरी सिंपल. चाहे वो ऑल टाइम हाई कॉम्बिनेशन है. सी देखिए, कॉम्बिनेशन हमको, प्रसाद जी, एक काम करेगा, हमको स्टॉक्स दे देगा, बट फाइनली उस स्टॉक में पार्टिसिपेट कैसे करना है, how do you manage your risk, how do you build your positions, and how do you square up your trade if things are not going right. These are some of the things which you need to learn, and learning is a constant journey. So I can't say that ये आप ये कर लोगे तो लर्न कर जाओगे, आप टीएमपी प्रोग्राम कर लोगे तो हो जाएगा, आप स्टॉकेज क्लब का पार्ट बन जाओगे हो जाएगा. कभी भी कोई भी एक एक्शन से सब चीजें ठीक नहीं होती है. तो बट हाँ, एक से हम लोग दूसरा एक्शन लेते हैं, दूसरा से तीसरा लेते हैं, एंड देन फाइनली वी टेक सो मेनी एक्शंस दैट वी स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग अ फ्रेमवर्क फॉर आवरसेल्व्स. सो माय हम्बल सजेशन, प्रसाद जी, इज दैट don't look out for that one single scan. Start the journey of creating your own scan, and in couple of days, months, or years, I'm sure you'll be very successful in your journey. uh, how to identify which sector is going to perform next? Well, RJV, it's very very simple. Just follow sector rotation of stockage, and there is enough knowledge around sector rotation which can give you an understanding of which sector will perform the best. और अगर आप नहीं समझते तो प्लीज आप मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल के साथ जुड़े रहिए, और वहां मैं यही वीडियोस रिकॉर्ड करता हूं ताकि आप लोग अपने तरीके से सीख जाएं कि कई क्या सही सेक्टर है जिसमें एक्चुअल में आप अब स्विंग ट्रेडिंग या मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग कर सकते हैं. ऑलराइट दोस्तों, as I said, today is going to be very short, 30 minutes, because the match is on, and I don't want to bother you guys between the match sessions, because we are having a great match today, and it's such a proud feeling to belong to a country where we have talents like Virat Kohli, talents like Sachin Tendulkar, talents like Rohit Sharma, and many, many more people. And I wish someday I will be as talented as them and give my best to the country, which deserves the best from all of us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great days ahead, and बस अपना ध्यान रखिए, and please be sincere with your market participation. Do not just listen to anyone and everyone and execute trades. Build your own mind, build your own process, own framework, because खुद का फ्रेमवर्क बने बिना, खुद मरे बिना, आपको पता है स्वर्ग नहीं मिलता है. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, thank you so much. Have a great evening, great match. Will win for sure, and have a great trading ahead. Bye bye.